friends, welcome back. So today I'm going to give you an updated tour of my quilting studio. I've made some changes to the space since my first video, and I thought you'd be interested in seeing what they are. So welcome to my quilt studio. I'm going to give you an updated tour of the space. Here's kind of an overview. Off to the left here is, I had this table initially. If you saw my first tour, this was in the middle of the room, and I moved it over to here when I started shooting my YouTube videos. And in the corner, I have some notions, and I use these bins to store fabric. And on the wall, I have a bulletin board that I use to kind of put reminders, notes. I'll hang patterns there when I'm cutting fabric here. So I wanted to interrupt the video to let you know that this space, while it looks really pretty in this video, a few weeks ago, it looked like a complete hot mess. It was raining outside, and when I came into the room, I discovered that there was water dripping down into the room, and because there was a leak in my roof. And so as you can see in this video, everything was shoved to one side. There was a tarp on the floor, and I kind of lived like that in the space for about a week or so until I felt like what we put up in the attic was going to protect the room and the house from getting any worse until the roofer gets here. So I confidently moved everything back, and I'm able to share with you what the room looks like now. And then down in the corner, I utilize this space to store my interfacing and other items for non-quilting type of projects. And so I have a big cutting space here, and this is a project that I'm working on, and I have a scrap bin in the corner. I have chocolate. There's always chocolate here. And then I have a design board above. And right now I have a project that I just finished. This was a design a girlfriend did, who's a fellow quilter. And I just finished that up. And then in the corner, I have a drying rack that I got from the Container Store, and I just shoved it in between the wall and the frame. And that makes great use of the vertical space. And then in the corner, I have some YouTube video gear that I'm just kind of disguising so it's not sticking out like a sore thumb. And then underneath, I have various bins to store projects and fabric. And then off to the side, I have a scrap basket. I got this from Home Goods, and it's really nice. On the wall, I use a piece that I got in an estate sale. It was very inexpensive to store my fabric. As you can see, there's a lot more fabric on it. I acquired a great deal of fabric over the summer and for a couple of projects that I'm working on. And I have my sewing rack, or my thread rack here, and I utilize the spindles on there with a clip to hang a pattern. And here is my sewing station. Now, if you saw my first video, I had a Janome 6600 Memory Craft P. That is still here. I was able to acquire this used Bernina machine through my Quilt Guild, and it's been a great addition to my quilt studio. So because of its size, it works better on this sewing table. The latest addition to my quilt studio is this sewing chair. And I have to tell you, this is absolutely the best sewing chair ever. I am super petite. It is very comfortable. It is an Arrow sewing chair, and this is the Sew Wow sew pattern. It comes in 10 different patterns. And if you open it up, especially if you've got a small quilt studio like I do, it's got storage, so I have some books and things inside. So I can't highly recommend this chair enough. It swivels. So check that out. I can put the link down to their website. And then I have my notions next to my machine. And I have a plant that I've added to the space. My parents gave this to me for Valentine's Day, and she's very happy in here. I keep my wool pressing mat and my travel iron here for a small pressing station while I'm sewing. And over here, I have my old jewelry box from when I was a little girl that I keep some pins and other bits and knobs of things. And then next to it, I have some note paper and a fat quarter cupcake that my girlfriend gave me for my birthday. And then I have a television and a speaker so I can watch TV. And then I have a daylight lamp here. And then I have a station set up here for my featherweight with a little sewing caddy for it. And then in the corner, I have some more notions and sewing paraphernalia, as well as another bin of fabric. And then here the Janome is sitting here. It moves around, but this is kind of where it lives right now. And I have a cutting station underneath. And then down below, this is just an old desk that I've repurposed. I keep various patterns and sewing items in each of the drawers. And then down underneath, I will store my batting under there. So this addition has been in the works for a while. I had this big piece of cardboard that I'd gotten from my parents. It's about 1 inch thick. And it was sitting in the garage, and I had the batting. And so the other week, I hot glued the batting on the back of it, threw a bunch of command strips on it, and hung it up on the wall. And I have to say, it is a great addition to my space, and I absolutely love it. And if I have a couple projects that I'm working on, this Boo banner. If you're interested in how to make that, I'll reach out to the designer and see if they'd let me make a video and show you how to make it. But it is super cute. And then off to the right, this is a charity quilt that I'm working on. Basically, I got a bag of fabric and had to come up with a design for the quilt, and this is what I've come up with. There's more to it. It's quite a good size. And again, if you're interested in seeing how to make that, just let me know down in the comments, and I'll put together a video on how to make it. I'm very close to having that done. And then my ironing or my pressing station is just below that. And then in the corner here is a little sofa that pulls out to a bed for when I have company. And up in the corner, I keep some of my quilt tops that are ready to get quilted, as well as a quilt that's completed. This is a nice spot to sit and sew. And then I have a little table next to it. And then over here behind the door, I have an old scarf rack that I use to kind of hang pre-cut strips of fabric for patterns that I'm working on. And then on the back, I have an old shoed caddy that I'm repurposing to hold my yarn for my crochet projects. And again, I just used command strips for that as well to put that on the back of the door. And then in the middle of the room, I have my IKEA cart, which has a couple of projects and a design board on top. And then in the center of the room is my Husky table that I got from Home Depot. And this was a really great addition. I had this previously. It was over where the other table was. And it's nice because it goes up and down, and it has these great long drawers. In the top drawer, I have some patterns and design boards in there. And then the bottom holds all my rulers and some other Notion items as well. So this is a great addition to my room. And here in the corner, I have a pin cushion that I got. And then on the side of the table, I have my rulers that I've hung again from a command hook. And then over here in the corner, this is a new addition as well, is this Notion stand. I picked this up as a kit from a quilt shop over the summer, and I've seen them in other quilt shops as well. You can just get the stand and then just use your own fabric, but I loved the fabric that came with the kit, so I got the whole kit. And then, of course, my mug rug. If you didn't see my video on how to make this mug rug, you can check that out. I'll have a link for that at the end. And then I keep some clips here as well. And then I have my scrap bin and my pin cushion. And I can also give you the link for that. That's a great item. I have two of them. You saw the other one by my sewing machine. And then underneath, I have a scrap bin. And then on the other side, I have a basket that has some pieces of fabric for a project that I'm working on. And then I keep a stool in here for when I want to sit at my table and work. So I hope that video inspired you, and if you saw anything that you would like to know more about that in the video, do let me know down in the comments, and I will reach out and give you some more information. And if you like this video, do click the like button and subscribe. It does help my channel. But for now, I wish you well, and most of all, be quilty.